mind the bed here. But today we'll be going over photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, in short, is just how plants get their energy by sunlight or photons. So first we'll start off with photosystem 2 and 1, which is the beginning parts of the system. Photosystem 2 is the first part where it'll get the electron from water and bring it to a little base that will get phosphorylated, which is the base of the chlorophyll that will get phosphorylated, and then that electron will shoot up, and then it will shoot up because it'll energize with the light, right? With the light, it'll go up and then go down a electron transport chain, go down to photosystem 1. Photosystem 1 will then repeat the same thing where it will shoot up again more, like basically like it goes, imagine this, to 2 here, and boom, you see it still went up, it still is net wise, it went higher, except photosystem 1 it'll go higher even more, and then it'll go down and again another electron transport chain to then reduce NADP to make NADP and then plus H, so a proton. So it'll separate the NADPH to just NADP and a photon. And then for and then for the Calvin cycle, the Calvin cycle is really the stuff that makes the glucose. So for example, in the Calvin cycle, you first start off with CO2, so it's just carbon dioxide. You start off with it, and it combines with rubisco. Rubisco is phosphorate, and that is literally like it has to combine with that to make. Has to combine with CO2 because it'll become extremely unstable like that. It'll become unstable. That it'll break off. It'll break off into three carbon. No, sorry. I'm sorry. 6 3-carbon molecules, and then those will create ADP because so much phosphorylate on them that they'll turn. Sorry about that. No, that the ATP will be added onto that, making it ADP now to make it energize, and then it'll make a six double phosphorylated carbon molecules. And then those carbon molecules will then react with NADPH, and that NADPH will then make NADP, and then it'll get rid of some phosphorylation because they have to use energy to do that. And then at the end, once you get rid of the 6 3-carbon double phosphorylated molecule, you get G3P. But you get in total 6 G3P, but you can only use 1. So these 5 go back into the cycle of the Calvin cycle, and this 1 G3P is the only one that will be usable from that whole cycle. And we'll come back to this later. So the 5 G3P go back into the cycle. They react with 3 ATP. So they react and they make RUBP. RUBP in short terms, which is rubisco. RUBP is rubisco because it's exact same. It's rubisco before it becomes in contact with CO2. That's all it is. So once it goes down the cycle like that, it repeats again. The 3 carbon dioxide coming in with reacting with rubisco, splitting them up because it's so much energy and stuff, they just breaks apart and become phosphorylated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but back to that 1 G3P that was created netwise. In total, you need 3 of them in order to make 1 glucose. Yes, 1 glucose needs to be made with 3 G3P, and that makes glucose like that. And phosphorespiration is in short is just the affinity to have for oxygen and CO2. So plants are extremely have an extreme affinity for CO2 and oxygen. That's all it really is. That's all it is. And then C3, C4 plants, also really simple. C3 plants are the plants up north because like they have their pores open. But C4 plants, here in the valley, it's very hot. So they have their pores closed. But to combat this, like how can you get CO2 in if your pores are closed? At night, it's not as hot. So at night they open, letting everything in. And then when it's day, it closes. And it starts the cycle of the Calvin cycle. It lets the carbon in. It closes it off. It closes off the carbon dioxide so it won't get in or out. So you can do it without the factor of oxygen getting in it, making it a useless cycle. That's all it is. Thank you.